Hey folks, Maverick Watch Reviews back here with another review for you. Today we have yet another Seiko Prospex PADI Special Edition 200 meter automatic diver, and this model number is SRPA83. And as usual, we'll open it up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of yet another Prospex PADI Special Edition release from Seiko. Now, like I said in the last review, I love these new watch boxes, these PADI Special Edition watch boxes. They're just very sturdy, really good looking, and I love the actual inner watch box itself. Really substantial. I think these things are made out of wood. They've got to be. If they're made out of plastic, I would actually, really be shocked. But really nice watch box. Of course, there's the watch itself. Now, as usual, you get your owner's manual, which is right here. And then you get your warranty pamphlet with the actual warranty card there in the back. All right, let's get all this stuff out of the way and let's get to the watch. Really, really nice watch. I actually have a couple gripes about this thing. Nothing major, but I like to give an honest review, even though I love 99% of just about every Seiko watch made. Okay, maybe that's a little bit much. Maybe not 99%, but I like a lot of them. All right. So let's go ahead and put all the specs up on the left-hand side of the screen, and then we'll dive really deep into this thing. You have a 50 millimeter case. It is 14 millimeters thick. It's on a 22 millimeter silicone strap. It has a blue IP plated bezel. It does have a ceramic shroud right here. It's 200 meters water resistant, which of course is 660 feet. It has a venerable 4R36 movement with a 41-hour power reserve. It is windable and hackable. It does have a hard Lex crystal. It has Lumibright all over the indexes and hands. It has a day and date function over here at 3 o'clock. You have your screw down crown over here at 4 o'clock. And of course, this is a PADI Special Edition watch. Now, there's a lot to go over with this thing, and I want to make sure I cover everything. Let's talk about the actual case and the watch, the weight of the watch. It's a heavy watch, but not obtrusively heavy. I mean, it's not going to weigh down your wrist, but you definitely know you have something on your wrist. It's not as heavy as it looks, if that helps. Now this is basically the PADI version of the SRP83, and I'll put that on the left-hand side of the screen for you. Now, of course, that's an all-metal watch. This has a silicone strap and a ceramic shroud. But that's an all-metal watch. So this is basically the PADI version of that watch with quite a few changes. Now again, this is the big case size, but the cool thing about the case, if you look, it has a really nice curve to it. See under there where my thumb is? Look at those curves, and the actual case back is kind of inset into the case. So even though it's a big case, it doesn't wear as high on the wrist as you would think it would. It's really, really comfortable. Of course, I'll show you some wrist shots here in just a second. This silicone bracelet is probably the second most comfortable strap that I've ever put on my wrist. Probably second only to the Marine Master I reviewed, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. Really, really comfortable silicone strap. I love this strap. I also like the stainless steel keeper here with the Seiko logo. A nice touch, but again, this is an expensive watch. You would kind of expect these type of little touches on a watch this expensive. So really cool, like that. It's very legible. Now I like they looks like they've redesigned the indexes a little bit, and I don't know if you can see this, but if you look at the 12 o'clock index, it's like it's tiered. There's a line almost right in the middle of the 12 o'clock indexes, the index. The shape of the other hour indexes is different, and it's got a ton of lume on them. Now, I don't know if you can also notice this as well. A lot of Seiko watches have a pretty pronounced chrome bezel around the indexes. This one, you can barely see it. I don't know if it's even chromed. It might be metallic, but it's a very thin bezel around the actual indexes. And I'm trying to give you different angles of the watch here so you can see it. Really, really nice. I like how big these indexes are. I love the sunburst dial, that blue sunburst dial. It's really reminiscent of the other PADI watch, the PADI Turtle version that I reviewed, I don't know, I guess about a month and a half ago. Really reminiscent of that. I love this red border around the day and date over here at 3 o'clock. It really makes it stand out. It really makes it pop. And if you notice at 12, 9, and 6, there's a little red line coming out of the index. I don't know if you can see that. You should be able to see it. And it's only on the 12, 9, and 6 index, nowhere else. Of course, you have the reverse lollipop second hand with that big lollipop loom circle on the back of the second hand. Of course, you can see the minute hand is in that nice red. The bezel has the dive markings differentiated between the actual regular markings and the rest of the bezel. Of course, that's done in red. You have a little luminous poop. You have a little luminous pip up here at 12 o'clock. Of course, this is on the SRP8372. This is basically, like I said, pretty much the same watch with just some, aesthetic changes. I mean, it's a PADI version, so they're going to use the PADI colors, which is blue and red, and change a few things on it. I love the drilled lugs on the case right there. Love, love, love that. And actually, the solar PADI I reviewed last week, I also forgot to mention it also has drilled lugs as well. That just makes it really easy to swap out the straps or a different bracelet on this. You can put a metal bracelet on this if you want. A ton of different options. Now you look at the bezel here. You can see that IP blue coated bezel. It's really nice. Now the only gripe I have about this watch is the fact that none of the blues match each other, which is really kind of disappointing. I wish there was a little bit more uniformity with the blue, because the strap is a different shade of blue than the shroud. The shroud is a different shade of blue than the bezel. The actual dial is a different shade of blue than all of them. So, I mean, they're all pretty close in matching the color, but they're all just a different color. You can see right there real clearly, the shroud is a different color than the strap. And of course, you can definitely tell that kind of iridescent IP coated bezel. And of course, the starburst dial. So I wish they had maybe tried to match at least the shroud and the strap with the same color, but I mean, it's not a huge difference, but I definitely noticed it, and I'm sure y'all are going to notice it as well. So what else? The crown itself over here at 4 o'clock is buttery smooth. I really, really love this crown. It's curious that it's not signed. Normally they have the Prospex logo right there on the crown. For any Prospex line watches. It's not signed, which is, not a big deal, but it is buttery smooth. I love the pronounced crown pop. I guess maybe I'm just a little bit of a freak. I love it when the crown pops out nice and firmly. Nice strong spring inside of there. Of course, again, it's windable and hackable. Really nice. Let me show you the, actually, let me try this thing on real quick. Let's go ahead and try this thing on. Love this strap. Love it, man. So comfortable. And you can see that buckle. It's almost like an oversized buckle. That buckle is huge, by the way. A signed Seiko buckle. Love how big the buckle is, too. Love it. But this thing has got a lot of wrist presence. It does sit a little bit high on the wrist, but not as high as it would. As you can see, where that case has been kind of concaved, where it actually fits a lot more snug and a lot flatter on your wrist. So guys, that's a great looking watch. I just wish all the blues matched each other. It's not a huge deal, but it's enough for me to say something about it, and I want to let y'all know about it. Good looking watch though, man. I love the new design. I love the new indexes. Really cool. Of course, when you see that bezel, that'll really pop out too in the light. So let's go ahead and check out the lume. Let me go ahead and kill the studio light. And anybody that's ever seen any of my reviews knows what's about to happen next. Seiko has the absolute best lume in the business. You can't get any better than this stuff. This LumiBrite is the absolute best industry leader in lume. There you go. Good Lord. And I love how it reflects off the crystal. So it actually makes it look like the watch is more lume than it is. Really, really love how it reflects off that crystal. Of course, you can see the luminous pip going there too. Man, God, I love that lume. And that's a ton of it. Now you can also see, if you look, you can see that line right between the 12 o'clock index, but right between that triangle. I've never seen that before on a Seiko watch. So I guess it's just a minor design change they decided to put on this watch. Really cool. I also love how the luminous pip lines up perfectly with the 12 o'clock index. So there you go. So let's take a look at the back of this thing. Again, really interesting case design. I like that. I've actually seen that on a couple different watches. I think actually it's kind of like really similar to the Sumo. But I love how they do that, where they give you that little curve there. Of course, you're going to see PADI Special Edition. I'm sorry, you won't see the word PADI, but you will see Special Edition right there. Of course, the Seiko Tsunami logo. And of course, it tells you the rest of the information about the watch. So, a really highly polished case. At least on the bottom, really highly polished on the bottom. and more of a matte brush finish on the outside main portions. These inner portions, which line up with the ceramic bezel, which is kind of cool, those are highly polished. So a good looking watch. And I'm trying to think of anything else. The screws to hold in the shroud, those are also polished. Really, really cool. Another really good execution of the PADI Seiko collaboration. Really, really cool. Now you can get this watch on Amazon for about $575. You can get them on eBay for a little bit cheaper. You might be able to get it for maybe about 500 bucks. Is it worth the extra money to get this over the regular SRP83? I don't know. It might even be worth it for the ceramic shroud. Now, ceramic is very hard and very scratch resistant, but ceramic as a material is very brittle. So it's not going to be as tough as, say, a stainless steel, but it's very hard, which makes it extremely scratch resistant. That's probably one of the reasons why they put it on this watch. So is it worth the extra premium? I mean, you're looking at SRP 637. I think it's about $250 or $300 now. You're going to pay an extra 200 bucks for this PADI Special Edition. I kind of want to say it kind of is. I'm a little bit on the fence, but I'm leaning towards liking it. I just wish those damn blues all matched each other, but they just don't. It just irks me. But again, not a big deal. I would definitely buy this watch. Definitely. After, you know, I might even get one for myself. I'm not sure. But anyway, again, this has been the Seiko Prospex PADI Special Edition 200-meter automatic diver, model number SRPA83. And if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate all my new subscribers. I've got some really cool stuff coming up next week. I've got a whole bunch of watches coming in. So if you like this, go out there and get it. It's not going to be around very long. Now, again, this is a special edition, not a limited edition. With limited editions, they only make a certain number of watches, like, you know, 1,200 or 1,500 or 1,600 or 2,000 or whatever, and then they never make them again. They're going to be making this for a few months, but I'm assuming after a few months, they're going to stop making them. So if you like the look of this watch, definitely go out there and get one, pick one up. Don't pay more than, don't pay more than about $575, because the MSRP on it's about $795. And you almost never pay MSRP on Amazon or eBay. And if somebody's, trying to gouge you, charge you $800, $900, don't buy it. That's just way too much for this watch. I mean, it only has the 4R36 movement in it. It doesn't have a higher end movement. It doesn't have a sapphire crystal. So just make sure, that you don't get taken. Make sure you don't get tricked into, spending more for this watch than you really have to. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.